Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So just a couple of quick things before we dive into the video proper. Oh, excuse me. So I just finished recording my Kaiju number 8 videos, so I'm not going to go too much into depth like I did at the start of that one here. But like I said in that video, if you're going to hear kind of like a minor droning noise in the background, apologize. I do have a fan running in the room right now because it is boiling hot outside, boiling hot inside, and so that I don't fry myself, I'm just having the fan running in the background. I did a couple of tests and everything already. Shouldn't be distracting, or like drowning out my voice or anything like that. But you will hear kind of like a minor noise in the background, so just wanted to make sure you knew what that was. Like I mentioned in my Kaiju video, I'll try to get back to read-throughs next week. Right now, a tentative plan is kind of get back to Alita read-throughs next Saturday afternoon sometime. Twitter will be the best place to kind of get updates on that, because once we get closer to the next weekend, I'll post dates, times, everything like that on there. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I'll put all this information out. In a channel update video that'll either get out tonight or probably tomorrow, depending on how everything else plays out tonight with my night and stuff going on. So with that said, without further ado, let us dive into Spy Family. So I did mention a couple of my last videos that unfortunately my last reaction to chapter 45 of the series did get corrupted, and I was kind of debating whether I should do another read through of it or not. And I was going to initially just do kind of a short recap review, but I figured I'd just go through both the chapters again, just because it don't really take that much time to go through them. And I think it was an entertaining chapter anyway, so I don't mind going through it again as well. So yeah, I'll go through both chapters 45 and 46. So without further ado, let's get into Spy Family, Mission 45 by Tetsuya Endo. Translation by Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. And we have it's got a pool, ta-da! It's got a circus, ta-da! It's got a game room, it's a casino, ta-da! And it's even got an ocean! And you see Anya's just so excited to be on the boat and going around exploring, and she's just like, I'm just getting so excited, it's adorable. And she's like, Papa, this boat is amazing, we're gonna have such an adventure. She's like, and Lloyd's just like, well, yes, the ship was built to exemplify the prestige of Ostania. He's like, let's go explore. It's like, after we stow our bags in our room. It's like, they said even our room is sweet. And you see just a ka-chack and a cramped. And you see this long galley looking room with these two bunk beds on one side, wardrobe, storage on the other, with a little makeup table and just this little round window to the outside. And Anya's like, wow-wee! This always gets me with the competing timing. I love her just so damn much. She just does an about turn. It's like, oh, this must be one of the ship's jail cells. We made a wrong turn. Lloyd just grabs her jacket and pulls her back in, and he's like, this is a third-class suite. And you see her just going crawling under the table, knees drawn up, and she's like, and that concludes this episode of Anya's Big Adventure. And Lloyd's like, you want a free trip and a drawing, don't complain. And then she gets all excited again. She's like, well, I've never slept on a bunk bed before, I want the top. And she's just bouncing up and down. And Lloyd's like, suit yourself. He's like, don't just don't fall off. And you have yours group is probably up in first class. And Anya's like, no fair, Mama's better than us. And Lloyd's like, it's because she's with the dignitaries. And you see, allow me to make introductions. As you know, I'm Matthew McMahon, Director of Policy at Berlin City Hall. This is Heyman and Veeds from our business development team, and Miss Forger from our office. And you see, you're just kind of trepidatiously just kind of nodding. And you see, hi, I'm Fercial Gray from the store development group at Our House Department Stores. This is my wife, Shadi. He's like, please excuse us for bringing our kid along. He's like, oh no, not at all. Please enjoy the trip with your family. And McMahon goes, if your wife needs any assistance, Miss Forger will be happy to help. And you see, thank you, Fercial Gray. And you see there's this serious kind of like empty-eyed, dead-eyed woman staring at them all. As yours like, so, this is Olka Gretcher of the Gretcher crime family. She looks so different from her picture. She must have changed her appearance to travel incognito. And yours like, it's a pleasure to meet you. You have you're going, so this woman must be Lady Olka's body. Oh no, that's first you're going, so this woman must be Lady Olka's bodyguard. Looks spindly to me. Can she really protect her? And he's like, likewise. And you have this Princess Lorelei cruise is a short one. Just a 3-day, 2-night tour of the islands in Ostanian coastal waters. I hope you'll be able to relax and enjoy yourselves. There's plenty of shopping right here on the ship, although of course nothing that matches one of your fine stores, haha. So maybe we give you the grand tour? And first I was like, yeah, sure. And he glances back, like, these two are actual bureaucrats, they don't know anything. He's like, I'll have to pass, or that's Olka going, I'll have to pass, I need to tend to the baby. He's like, oh, of course. Miss Forge will remain here to assist you. And first is like, I was like, right this way, Mr. Gray. He kind of whispers to McMahon, will she be safe with just one guard like that? Shouldn't we all stay together? And McMahon goes, she'll be safe as long as she stays in the room. We need to do a sweep of this ship. It's like, there's no need to worry. She's strong. And you see Olka just kind of sitting on the bed, just kind of cradling her son as yours watching. And she thinks back to the gardener guy, I cannot remember his name, going, your assignment is to protect the survivors of an underworld purge, Olka Gretcher and her son. And you see, we've received intel that there are multiple hitmen in pursuit of her. And yours, like, if worse comes to worse, they'll need to be removed. We're counting on you, Thorn Princess. And we're just kind of like, eyes are darting around. She's taking all the exits and entry points. And she goes, I know they've already inspected for possible entry and escape routes, but I won't be able to relax until I've inspected them myself. Excuse me. I'm sure the director did a fine job, of course. And as Olka's watching her, she goes, so you really are one of them? He's like, well, yes. Like, one of who? He's like, you are Olka, right? And she's like, I am, although I'll ask you not to say my name here on the ship. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, Mama. He's like, oh no, he woke up. He's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, Mama. I was like, huh? He's like, isn't it strange? And she goes, my face, and Olka goes, my face looks different, but he still recognizes me as his mother. Is it my voice, my smell? I suppose his vision isn't fully developed yet. I'm a little sad that no one will ever tell me how much we look alike, but I suppose I have bigger concerns now. Besides, he looks more like his father than me. He's like, his father? He's like, oh right, he certainly is handsome. And she's like, you mean the man with me earlier? He's just a member of our crew playing a part, but he is a good man. And you can see Fercial thinking, I hope she's okay. As Olka goes, my husband was killed along with the rest of our family. Now this little guy is all I have left. And yours like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's like, it's okay. Such is the life of a gangster. So, but I must say, I'm a bit tired of that now. I don't need power or money. I just want to live a quiet life. And yours kind of like thoughtful, and she hears Olka telling her this. And suddenly the kid kind of just literally wakes up. He looks at his mother like this, with just an expression on his face, and he starts tearing up, and he just starts screaming, Wah! He's like, huh? There, what's wrong? He's like, sob, and you're just like, what do we do? And he's like, as he's just sniffling, and Olka's like, hey, guard lady, would you indulge me in something? They've had us locked away ever since my family was taken out. I want to stretch my wings a little. I want to give this little guy a taste of fresh air. And yours like, oh, but without the director's permission. And she's like, please, just for a moment. The people looking for me don't know what I look like now. We don't even know if they're on the ship at all. Besides, if anything happens, you'll be there to protect us." And you were just like, It's like, "Oh, okay, fine, but just for a little bit." She goes to the door and just starts like looking outside suspiciously. And Olga's like, "Your paranoia is only calling attention to us, you know." And Yora's like, "Oh, I'm on the lookout for enemies, but..." Olga's like, "Your family's on this ship too?" It's like, "Yes, my husband and daughter." And you see Anya just going, "Papa, we have to finish exploring before the ship sinks." Just proudly, arms outstretched. And all the people around are looking like, "Huh?" And Lloyd's like, "It won't sink. Don't make people scare people like that." And you see Lloyd going, "This vessel certainly is impressive in scale, and many of these passengers seem to be wealthy and well connected. Both factors make this ship a potential target of terrorism. I should keep an eye out for suspicious behavior. Once I have a better understanding of when, where, and how many passengers are got." And you see Anya going, "Papa, you're not having any fun." He's like, "Huh?" He's like, "I mustn't fall back on old habits." And thinks back to Sylvia telling him, "I expect you to execute your mission of rest and recreation as thoroughly as you would any other." And Lloyd gets all fired up. He's like, "I'm supposed to be enjoying myself. I have to reorient my efforts towards attaining optimal recreation." He's like, "Let's go watch a show. Roar!" And Anya's like, "Papa's so serious." And you see later with Olga going, "Huh? Why would you bring them with you?" And Yora's like, "I didn't. It's all a big coincidence. My family doesn't know about my real job. So in the unlikely event that fighting broke when they were to see me, or even if any of the other passengers were to see..." Olga's like, "We shouldn't encounter them if we avoid the areas that are accessible to third-class passengers. So don't worry." And Yora's like, "Oh yes, that makes sense, but still." It's like, "You seem really worried about this. But they're just for show, right? For your cover identity?" And Yora's silent before she's like, "Yes, that's right. I guess that's what they are." She looks a little bit despondent. Olga's just kind of observing this before we go, as the kid starts crying again. She's like, "Oh, not again." It's like, "Of course, you're right. Let's go outside already." And Olga's like, "Hold up a second. I'll let you borrow these." As she rustles around inside her suitcase. And you see where Yora's wearing like this oversized shirt with this, kind of sun hat. She's got the long hair. And she's got these sunglasses on. Oh, she looks so cute. And you see, it feels so good. It's like, this outfit. Well, because now we're just two mom friends hanging out, right? Beats a suit. And this way, even your husband won't recognize you if he spots you from far enough away. It's like, "Yeah, maybe." It's like, what a peaceful breeze. Yours like, "We can't even see the mainland anymore. Wow." Olga's like, "You're right. So many things I've left behind forever." You see the kid going, "Achoo!" He's like, "Oh no, is he getting too cold? Like, let's go back." And Yora's like, "Shadi?" He's like, "Yes." And he's like, "I'm gonna give this my all for you both. I'll finish this job without fail." And she's still a bit taken back by this. The kid's like, "Joba, Joba." Yes, he's like, "Yes, I'm on the Joba, 100%. And you see her going, "Graham, that's his name, the same as my father." And the kid's just like, "Gam," is like his real name. And yours is like, "It's nice to meet you, Graham." He's like, "Gam." He's like, "Do you want to hold him on the way back?" And yours like, "You don't mind?" He's like, "Not so hard that you break his bones, Yor." As soon as he takes, like, "Wah!" He's like, "God, I'm so sorry, Shawty, take him back." And you see a glint under one of the chairs that they're just sitting on with like a little tiny, what looks like a listening device or a camera. And you see, "I told you the show starts at 5. Where's the loo? Let's get a drink at the bar. The shopping here is amazing. Now, in the next election," it's like, no, that stock is posed. I'm telling you, the emergency exit is broken." I'm not going to read through everything, but you see somewhere deep in the hull of the ship, this grimy looking man with this like oily looking hair, wearing a white shirt, suit, and black pants. He's got all these monitoring devices around him as he's listening in on various areas of the ship. And then he hears kind of the wailing of the child, "Wah!" It's like, "Shotty, take him back." And he goes through a passenger manifest and goes, "Shotty Hutton, room 2125. Shotty Copeland, room 3064. Shotty Gray, room 8053. As we get into the next chapter, So we have Spy Family, Mission 46 by Tetsuya Endo, translation Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. You have You're So Lucky, It's Not Fair. I wish I could go on a luxury cruise vacation. It's not a vacation, she's helping out with a VIP. If they need an office pool girl, why not me? I heard the VIP's bringing a child and that's why they picked Yor. That and they're from the same town or something. I'm so jealous, I could just die. They're probably eating some fancy dinner right now. I bet it's super good. I'm plenty happy with their after work beer and sausages. Me too. Whoa. And you see later that night they're at a fancy feast as you have, isn't the food here divine? The chefs come from a 5-star hotel in Berlin. With the support of the city of Berlin, local companies also assembled components of the ship itself and designed aspects of its interior. McMahon's alright, let's not bore our guests with more of this talk. And you see a fidget, as the first show's going, the food is great, haha. No, it's fine, I'll be sure to dine at that hotel sometime. It's a shame I'm too nervous to taste anything. And you see Shadi just kind of side-eyeing Yor, she's feeding Graham. You see fidget, as Yor just kind of nervously munching on the food. He's same here. And McMahon kind of kicks her chair and goes, calm down, Forger. He's oof. He's the people we're dealing with are smart enough not to attack in public. And as for your family, third-class passengers aren't even allowed in this restaurant. So relax and help sell the cover story. He's sorry, sir. See you later after they're done. He's up for another drink, Mr. Gray? Why don't we hit the bar on the lower deck? And he's sure. And Shardy's then I'll return to the room. And McMahon goes, make sure no one tails you back to the cabin. And Yor goes, understood. And Yor goes, okay, it doesn't look like anyone got in here while we were away. And Shardy's there's been no sign of any trouble all day. And Yor's but that doesn't mean we can be sloppy. We still have no idea whether the enemy is on board or not. We have 30 more hours before the rendezvous with the other boat. If I were trying to kill you, I'd wait till the last possible minute to strike. Why risk causing a commotion or be stuck on a ship with no way to escape? Even if no one's leaked our plans, the enemy might still figure it out somehow. Tomorrow could very well be the day they strike, or so the director says. So let's not let our guard down one bit. Excuse me. And Charlie's you're right, I'm sorry. Maybe I just want it to be over. Excuse me. Maybe I just want to believe that we're home free now. But this isn't just my problem. I need to be strong. And Yor's that's right. As soon as you arrive and we confirm it's safe, you can take Graham outside to play as much as he wants. And Yor just starts poking his cheek as he's sleeping. And he's you really don't seem to be the underworld type at all. He's oh, I'm sorry, I'll try harder? And Charlie's if we manage to escape from here safely, what will you all do next? And you see Yor going, if we don't find any sign of enemy activity, then we'll await further orders. The guys from business development don't have any idea what this is really about. They'll be told the Greys wanted to spend the third day of the cruise as a family. The director has an excuse for when we disembark too. He's and you aren't going to see your family? And Yor's I mean, this is a work trip for me, but I guess I did tell them I'd find them if I had any time off. It's isn't the ship stopping at a resort island on the third day? You guys could spend the day as a family too. And Yor's just nervous, and she's oh, I don't really, it's just, just on that next picture. And you're just gobbling down. She's oh, so good. No. I'm always I hope you're not overeating just because it's a buffet. Remember to chew. And Anya's just gulping. I'm hungry from all that playing. And she looks at the empty chair and goes, it's so strange having dinner without Mama. Is it it's a little lonesome, isn't it? He's you miss dinner all the time. It's wow, Papa, you're so sappy. He's no, it's only because you said, just hurry up and eat. We need to get back to the room. He's looky, they have cashew nuts. Easy later, first he was walking back with the other two, bureaucrats. Excuse me. We're all looking a little tipsy. Oh, God, hate hiccups. It's wow, that was a bit of a bender, wasn't it, Mr. Gray? And he's like, I barely drank anything. It's like, haha, yeah. Excuse me. Playing darts was fun too, wasn't it? And you see, you really know your way around a dartboard. And you see this guy in a white suit. He's kind of watching them out of the corner of his eye. Oh, excuse me. You see him with these slick back hair and like these beady looking eyes. And McMahon's like kind of notices he's watching them. And he goes, oh, sorry, I left something back at the bar. And you see Gray's kind of surprised by this. Like, honestly, Mr. McMahon, you'd lose your head if it wasn't attached. Oh, god damn, excuse me. So we'll go on ahead. And you see McMahon just walking off as the tail turns around and starts following them as well for a discreet distance. And you see as they say, they're pointing to another board to try to get some more drinks. And you see McMahon just silently coming up behind him, unobserved. The guy freaks out when he realizes behind him, pulls a knife out and tries to slash around behind him. And McMahon just stops his arm here and here with his. And you see a crack, and ah! And he puts one hand around his mouth, stop from screaming, and twists the other behind his back. Oh, god damn it, excuse me. As he twists the other behind his back, and he goes, oh my god, I hate hiccups. He goes, answer each question with yes or no. Are you a hitman working for underworld usurper Leonardo Harpoon? And the guy is staying silent, he's looking angry. So McMahon applies some pressure, and you see a crack, and he goes, you have 2 seconds to answer each question. Next time, I break a leg. And his broken arms kind of like hanging limply by his side. And he goes, are you a hitman for Leonardo Harpoon? And the hitman just kind of nods. Are there other assassins besides you? And he nods again. And he goes, how many are there in all? And he refuses to answer. So McMahon just smacks one of his legs from behind and breaks it. He goes, sorry, I guess that wasn't a yes or no question. That one's my fault. He goes, how many in your team and where are they? He goes, we're not a team. I don't know how many others. We each operate independently. It's a race to see who's first. As an informant gave me a lead. That's why I was tailing you. Said it was Shoddy Gray, room 8053. I guess the intel was right, huh? Ha 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 ha. I see a crack as McMahon just breaks his neck, I assume, drags his corpse off and just throws it off the ship into the sea. And you see, Mr. McMahon, you caught up to us. And he goes running past them, and he grabs Gray with him. And he goes, huh? He's like, what's that, Mr. Gray? You're about to soil yourself? Dear me, let's get you back to your room right away. You two rest up for tomorrow, okay? And Gray's like, oh, Mr. Director, sir? He's like, let go. He goes, they have multiple men aboard the ship. They know her cabin number and alias. Our organization planned this in total secrecy. There's no way it should have leaked. Can you think of anything, any contact with the outside world while you were sequestered? He's like, no. He's like, tell me. He's like, no, I'm sure it's nothing. I just made one phone call 3 days ago to my parents back home. And he goes, you fool. And he goes, I didn't say anything about where we were going, not a word. I'm never going to see him again, so I need to say goodbye. That was it, I swear. And McMahon's like, what's done is done. I don't have time to trace our enemy's footsteps or race to see who's first. I've been too lax. He goes, they never had any intention of waiting until tomorrow. And you see Olga's just kind of putting Graham down on the bed to rest. Oh, excuse me. And she goes, I can't imagine we'll go out again tonight, so I'm going to get changed. And she's like, that makes sense. And you see a knock, knock, knock. And yours like, Director McMahon? And no one answers, and you have louder, knock, knock, knock. And you have kind of like almost vroom, 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 as both Yor and Olga are kind of looking at the door kind of apprehensively. As we get, next chapter hits May 30th. Oh, so we go tomorrow. Alright. Perfect timing, I guess. So quick thoughts, I guess, before we wrap this one up. So, I don't think I have too much to really... excuse me, the hiccups are really kicking my ass today. I don't think I really have too much to add or say, except to say, like, again, I'm loved that we're finally getting more focus on yours, especially since I know that we've had a lot of focus on her since early in the beginning, and outside of like her being like involved in kind of the plot shenanigans, we really haven't seen her developed, get more added depth in any kind of way. So I'm liking this chance to kind of hopefully get to see like different aspects of her personality, maybe dive into her backstory a little bit more and kind of find out what her future aspirations and things are. Because the vibes like the vibes that this chapter, like the last chapters gave me, or feels like yours gonna have to kind of, I think yours gonna consider potentially retiring from, assassination to kind either, just spend more time with Lloyd, Anya, everything else like that. Because she would kind of realize that she's growing fonder of them, and she's found more to live for than just, outside of Yuri and like outside of being, being an assassin and things like that. So I feel like that's gonna be like the one aspect we're gonna see, just like Olka's thing of like, having lost or dear to hear me, like, I'm trying to like give up like the life of crime and everything, so I could have a quieter life. I feel like that's one aspect of this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the actual last video I uploaded, or if this was something I mentioned in the previous reaction that got corrupted or things. But I feel like this is also going to end with, if that is like kind of the tangent that yours kind of story goes, and is like her realizing like, I don't want to be an assassin anymore. I still feel like it's going to end with basically the gardener, the others basically telling her like, you're one of our top assassins, we can't let you go if you try to do anything, if you try to leave the organization, we'll take out Lloyd and Anya, they're going to be our insurance to make sure you continue doing what we want. So it'll be interesting to see if that's, God, I really hate hiccups, if that's the direction is going to be going, or if there's going to be something, we're just going to go a different side. Like, I'm more curious as well to see how close they're going to, like, Yor and Lloyd are going to be getting to potentially finding out each other's identities during, like, all the events that are going down on this ship, and, like, what's happening with that. Because I feel like that's probably also going to be one of the next steps, like, now that her identity's been kind of compromised, if that is an assassin waiting outside, like, if there is going to be an assassination attempt soon, I feel like they're going to hide Shadi along with Lloyd and Anya and the rest of them. Just to kind of like complicate things with like the interfamily dynamics, but also like give her cover so that no one can really like easily kind of figure out where she's being stored anymore. But that's all kind of real speculation at this point. It could go lots of different directions. But I am interested to see kind of the way, or what shape yours character arc is going to take from here, and like what kind of development she's going to go through. And reading this, I'm also curious like how long this series is going to go on for, because I'm hoping it's not like one of those series that's going to like overstay its welcome, like kind of drag out the story artificially, like, because we're like 45 chapters in, which is, a good chunk, and I don't feel like it's overstayed its welcome, or any of like the gimmicks, the gags, the character stuff has gotten stale yet, which is also always a good sign. But yeah, like, I was just thinking about the broader story and trying to figure out like, where it could potentially end and things like that. But that's all just kind of random speculation, not really related to it. Since the next chapter is dropping tomorrow, I'll do my best to get a reaction video out for that as well at some point tomorrow. So that should be out sometime tomorrow afternoon, and then like I said, I'll do another kaiju video sometime next weekend once that drops. Like I said, also expect an Alita video sometime next week. I'll do a channel update tomorrow with plans. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.